Good morning and good day. Thanks for joining us at Garden State Weather and GardenStateWeather.blogspot.com, your source for weather information for New Jersey, New York, the I-95 corridor, the northern mid-Atlantic region 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And this is the video forecast analysis discussion for Thursday, October 31st, 2013. First off, happy Halloween to all you trick-or-treaters out there. It should be a safe trick-or-treat and a relatively dry trick-or-treat throughout most of this afternoon and early this evening before things really get started with high winds and precipitation late tonight through early Friday morning and mid-Friday morning as well. Start this morning's broadcast off with the watches and warnings for an active pattern coming up over the next 24 to 36 hours. We have gale warnings in effect now from Rehoboth Beach and south through southern Delaware, all the way through the coastal waters of New Jersey, the New York Harbor, Long Island, and all the way out to the east end into southern New England's coastal waters, and this includes the north and south shores of Long Island. We have high wind watches in effect across central and eastern Long Island until Friday afternoon, and also high wind watches in effect from southern Connecticut all the way out towards Rhode Island through Friday afternoon. The dense fog advisories here for central and southeastern Pennsylvania will expire at 9 o'clock on Thursday morning, which is just a few hours from now. Of course, last year at this time, we had the impacts from the devastating Hurricane Sandy across the New Jersey and New York waters. In fact, the impacts of Sandy were felt for months, actually, still ongoing in many locations, too, along the coastal regions. Last year, 2 years ago at this time, on October 29th, we had the snowstorm that brought down the power lines for a couple of days across northwestern New Jersey. Look at these totals in Morris County. We had 14, 15, 16 inches of snow across portions of Sussex and Morris County, parts of northern Bergen County, and Passaic County as well. And of course, last year at this time, too, within next week, November 7th and 8th of 2012, we had the first snowfall of the season, and then we didn't see snow again until late February. So last year was not such a good snow year, but it started off with a bang on November 7th and 8th of 2012 with these totals here across northwestern New Jersey and into the Hudson Valley and also into Connecticut and Long Island as well, where New York City received over 4 inches of snow next week at this date last year. Morning surface chart this morning from weatherroanoke.com and Digital Atmosphere shows high pressure now off the coast with a warm front now snaking across with strong low pressure across just north and west of the Great Lakes here. A warm front snaking all the way down through Indiana, the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley to off the southern mid-Atlantic coastline here. And this warm front will be racing and edging its way north through the region during this afternoon and tonight, ushering in a very mild day tomorrow before this very strong cold front and low pressure that is heading up towards the Great Lakes and southeastern Canada drive a strong jet stream through the region, developing tomorrow morning with pulses of heavy showers and some very strong winds through the area for a period of a couple of hours tomorrow morning, which could really be a problematic problem here. We're not looking at widespread rain, but the wind damage from some of these gusts and some of the heavier downpours that come down could promote some damaging winds and then some damage reports across the region. Of course, we'll be monitoring that through the morning. Lots of low clouds and fog around the region this morning before sunrise. Temperatures anywhere from the upper 40s to the mid 50s across the region. Plenty of fog with ceilings in that fog being reduced to under 200 feet in the ceilings and variable ceilings between 2 and 4,000 feet where there's not fog this morning. And some of that fog will be lifting throughout the regions as the sun works over the atmosphere. Even though it's going to remain cloudy today, the sun will be out and coming up shortly, and that will work over some of this fog and help to disperse it a little bit in the next coming hours. Bird's eye view of the National Water Vapor Loop this morning shows we have a strong disturbance here across the Four Corners region. And if we start this off, we can see this upper level low here across the Four Corners being lifted north and east with a warm front extending from surface low pressure here to the south, to the over the Great Lakes region, and a very strong plume of convective moisture heading in from the Gulf of Mexico and the southeastern, southwestern, central plain states across the region. All of this moisture, this upper level low here and surface wave, will be lifting to the north and east through southeastern Canada and drive a very strong cold front through the region during tomorrow morning, which is going to lead to very heavy downpours and very strong gusty winds late tonight through Friday afternoon. On the aviational deck this morning, Newark, we have overcast conditions at 1,900 feet, generally fair weather visibility 7 miles. And we're going to find a period of scattered to broken clouds during this afternoon and this evening, and then light rain showers getting in here very late tonight, just near around midnight or so, with 5 miles. And the winds really picking up out of the southwest at 16 gusts to 22 knots after midnight. Those winds will even freshen to 20-25 knots, up to 35 knots and 40 knots in downburst gusts. Cannot be outruled or overruled or overstated for tomorrow morning at the terminals around dawn, with broken ceilings at 4,000. And very strong winds tomorrow morning at the terminals here in JFK, New York, Long Island, especially the south and east ends of Connecticut, southern and central Long Island, the most vulnerable areas for these high winds. And of course, we have gale warnings in effect right along the immediate coast. Generally, we're going to have marginal VFR and later IFR conditions in the rain and strong winds across the terminals during late tonight and tomorrow morning. And then outside of the rain and shower activity, winds marginal VFR and then improving to VFR conditions over the weekend. Visible image this morning faintly picking up the low deck of clouds here in the fog across central and southern regions, across the region from New York down through southwestern and southeastern Pennsylvania. These are mid and high level clouds, and the rain is off to the west here with the thickening of the clouds. So a cloudy day overall, fog dissipating, some breaks during this afternoon with sunshine, but predominantly a cloudy day is on the way. If we take a look at the water vapor imagery, look at all of this cooling in the mid and upper layers of the atmosphere on the water vapor. This is inducive of very strong lifting, and plenty of moisture is on the way heading from southwest to northeast. Now, not all of this moisture is going to reach the New Jersey, New York waters during this afternoon, and that's why most of Trick or Treat today will be dry. However, the showers will approach toward evening, and the rain will really start to come down in showery bursts with perhaps even a low top thunderstorm and some very strong southwesterly winds, which could cause problems at the terminals and also problems with downburst wind damage across the region that will not be known until tomorrow morning at this time. Here's our one wave of low pressure across the warm front approaching now from the southwest. This will head to the northeast and away from the area. Should see some moderate sprinkles or light rain breaking out, but most of the area today will be dry. And then we await the cold front out to the west and strong low pressure to move into southeastern Canada, the one over the Four Corners region now. And that's going to cause the cold front to move through the region with some strong winds and moderate shower to low top thunderstorm activity tomorrow morning. Nam Wharf, 850 millibar, 5,000 foot wind forecast from the Penn State Ewald site. This is what's impressive by tomorrow morning. The southwesterly winds really start to increase to 50, 60, 70, 80 knots in parts of the region tomorrow morning as that cold front begins to come through. And that's where we're going to experience possible wind damage on the bridges here in New York, Long Island, and southwestern Connecticut. That's why the National Weather Service has issued those high wind warnings or high wind watches that may be converted to high wind warnings during late tonight or tomorrow morning. And as the cold front comes through, showers and low top thunderstorms will be moving through the region overnight tonight into early tomorrow morning too. Here's the fog this morning and the clouds overspreading the region throughout today. There will be breaks in the clouds, especially central and southern portions, maybe a few sprinkles or light rain getting in here during this afternoon. And then whisking away to the north and east as the warm front comes through. A better chance of isentropic lift and showers out to our west getting in here late tonight into early tomorrow morning. And this is where the band, according to the NAM or even perhaps the GFS too, shows a little bit of a convective band forming just to our west, knocking on our doorstep tomorrow morning at dawn. So we could see a line of some strong storms or at least some moderate to heavy rain moving through the region. And then low pressure will develop along the front to the south as it slips to the south and stays southeast of the region on Saturday, with a secondary cold front coming through during the afternoon hours and evening hours on Saturday night. And this will usher in some very cold air, chilly air, which were temperatures probably not getting out of the 40s and even lower 50s on Sunday and Monday, but the winds are really going to be strong on Sunday too. So very changeable weather during the next 24 to 36 hours. Pressure and precipitation forecast from the GFS Next Lab, Next Generation Weather Lab, from the early morning run. We see the warm front moving through the area. Here's our showers and low top, perhaps a low top thunderstorm moving through the region, parts of the region tomorrow morning. Maybe a rumble of thunder, maybe not, but the winds are definitely going to be howling tomorrow morning, and that's going to cause a wave of low pressure to form along the southern extent of that front. The GFS and NAM model keep this now to the south and east across the region on Saturday. And then an inverted trough, a secondary cold front coming through the region, and heights really begin to lower on Saturday night as some very chilly air gets in here. Could have some few sprinkles, mixed clouds around, very windy conditions, chilly on Saturday night into early Sunday morning. And then high pressure begins to build into the forecast region of New England and the mid-Atlantic coast states with very dry and chilly air, a 1036 millibar high. And look at these heights, not far from 5,400 feet here at 5,000 feet. So, the thickness is rather, which would indicate some very chilly air here for the coldest air of the season thus far on Sunday and Monday, as the high is parked over southeastern Canada and the northern New England states with just locked in cold air here. So very chilly air coming in with generally dry conditions, and the winds beginning to subside on Sunday and Monday. And we're going to turn this around and go for a big warm up again come the mid part of next week before another strong cold front and rain come through here to knock temperatures back down again. So next week is going to be another mild yet stormy period once again. So once again, be safe out there for your Halloween, and happy Halloween from all of us here at GardenStateWeather.com. I'm forecaster Robert Smith. We'll be back bright and early with you on Friday morning with all the weather details, and hopefully you have a safe and happy Halloween.